Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing okay. Welcome back to Let's Play Siralim Ultimate. And in this episode, we are going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be, for the first time in ages, crafting and then testing out a completely new build. Now, this is going to be a hyper-specialized build, not meant to, defeat strong bosses, or really even be good at the game in a meaningful sense. You know, this build is going to be specifically for the purposes of farming one achievement, which I think, yeah, it's in the battle achievements, the achievement for getting resurrections. Now, we've already gotten about 35,000 resurrections. A lot of them were from early on when we were regularly getting killed and then having to resurrect with, you know, either the resurrection spells or the rebirth buff. Later on, we eventually graduated to a build where we're just like, you know what? How about we just don't die? How about we just never die? And usually that's how it works, obviously. Against certain false god combinations, especially if you put the enemy on the top of the timeline, that can be a problem. But by and large, we haven't needed to resurrect our guys for a long time. But one side effect of that is that we haven't been making any progress on the resurrection achievement, and that is one of the achievements in the game. And so there are a few different ways to address this. One way would be, there are legitimate builds that do have resurrections as part of their core mechanic, which is to say that when resurrections happen, it triggers other things which you can then use to either damage the enemy or scale your people, or do some combination of both of those things. But I feel like builds like those, in my opinion, tend to just be a little bit slow. Plus, resurrections are capped. You can't just infinitely resurrect endless times. You're limited to about I think exactly 10 resurrections per creature per battle. And there's a card set, which if you collect it, it bumps it up to 15. So you can't really even rely on it being an endless, like an infinite combo either, right? So that's not a thing you can use. But still, there are some good things you can do with resurrections. Nevertheless, I've explained why I'm not using resurrection style tactics, because I prefer winning in the quickest and most generalizable way possible. Nevertheless, there is still that achievement for 100,000 resurrections, and how are we gonna get it? Here's how we're gonna get it. We're gonna go to the fusion lab, and we are gonna start fusing some of the creatures that we got. Now, it is important that the base creature be a very specific type. The base creature must be a soul flare. I don't think it matters which of the two soul flares it is, but the base creature has to be a soul flare in order for this to work, because it relies on this most common race mechanic, and it has to work. It has to be this in order to work. Now, I guess you can, since you can go with either of these, you can kind of just go with aesthetics. And I feel like the aesthetics of the Soul Flare Dreamcaster is a little bit closer to the classic Cthulhu that I'm familiar with. You can kind of see it in the background, a little bit grayed out behind its stats. This one's pretty cool too, and it has the wings, but I'm more interested with the face, because I'm gonna be using this face in the thumbnail for sure. So 5 of the creatures in this party are gonna be Soul Flare Dreamcasters fused with Reclusive Whites. Now, it has to be fused with reclusive whites or a dread white. I do have dread whites as well. Yeah, I do have dread whites. Again, that could be either or. But I'm gonna prefer to. Again, this goes down to aesthetics. So the fusion creature affects the color palette. So the dread white is gonna give you a sort of like a greenish, yellowish, like decayed bone kind of tone. The cape is green. You get the gray from the metallic armor, and the reclusive white would instead give you seemingly very much the same. So I guess it doesn't really make that much of a difference. So what we'll do is we'll fuse them with the reclusive whites, the Soulflare Dreamcasters with reclusive whites, 5 of them, and we'll do it like this, reclusive white, and we can pick our color palette, and I guess we can give, there are 6 different options, we'll have 5 different creatures, we can give a different palette to each of them just for fun. So one of you can have this one. Okay, and use you again. Another Soul Flare. Where is it? Another Soulflare Dreamcaster getting fused with another reclusive white. This time we'll go with number 2. This one actually looks pretty disturbing because it looks like he just has a hole in his head, which is very unnerving. Right, so that's another one. Another Dreamcaster with another reclusive white. And this is probably actually no, the gray look is probably my favorite, but this is probably my second favorite out of all of these options. Out of all these color options. Number 3. Let's get number 4, Dreamcaster. Another reclusive white, if I can find you. Where I've always gone way too far. There we go. Number 4. And we only need one more, which is number 5. Number 5. And another reclusive white, and we can pick this color palette. And now we have these 5 creatures. Okay. And now our 6th creature is going to be... It's gonna have to be a corrupted phoenix. Fused with a Soul Flare Overlord. And ooh, these are some funky color palettes. But out of these, it's actually a tough one, but I'll go with this. This one sort of just looks like the original, but the fur is now a more like fiery color. Alright. So now what we need to do is now we need to actually deposit all our people. And let me just make sure I can quickly swap to this party. Alright, sounds good. So we'll deposit our creatures again. And now we'll withdraw the 6 creatures that we just fused. And they will be the Corrupted Phoenix. Excuse me? Just sort Sort alphabetically, please. Corrupted Phoenix. And the 5 Soul-Flared Dreamcasters. I really wish it would stay on this page, like the page you were on, instead of resetting you back to the beginning. Alright, and these are our guys, and now we need to save this as... We're gonna call it... Okay, so it's saved, and now I need to rename that as Resurrect. Does Resurrection have 2 R's in the hang? How do you spell Resurrection? Are there? Actually, I think there's only one S. I think there's only one S for yeah, there's only one S and 2 R's. Oh, oh, and I can't I can't type anymore. Resurrection far is all I get. You know what? I feel like Resurrection alone is gonna be enough. It's gonna be the Resurrection party. It's not done though. It's not done because we need to give artifact traits to all of our creatures as well. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna I know the different artifacts do different things. But I guess I'll just give them boots because this gives a chance of things happening on the creature taking their turns. So we'll just craft 6 pairs of boots. And we gotta upgrade those boots. We gotta upgrade those boots. I guess I already had some boots on the ground. We gotta upgrade these boots until they have a trait slot. And then I'm not gonna upgrade them anymore because I'm gonna save my brimstone. I'm a miser like that. So up to level 15 is all we need. I mean, one could argue when you have more than 200 million brimstone, why not, you know, live a little? Why not spend a little bit extra? But nah. I'm in a very ungenerous mood because we are gonna have to stockpile a lot of resources because there's another achievement for converting 1 billion resources, and for that I need about 250 to 300 million of every resource in order to get that done and then still have enough resources left over because there's a penalty for conversion, right? There's like there's an exchange rate. So that's gonna be a whole separate thing. Listen, don't even worry about it. Let's equip the artifacts. Okay. Artifacts equipped. Now, I guess one thing I should do is I should level up these creatures. Just to be on the safe side. And this costs like 1,000 energy each, I think. Oh, leveled up, leveled up, leveled up, leveled up, level up, level up. Right. And then now we can do the trait slot. So we need to socket Dread Rattles into everything that is equipped by these Soulflare Dreamcasters, into the trait slots. Dread Rattles are on page 21. This is the Dread White trait. Okay. On page 21, Dread Rattle. Page 21, Dread Rattle. Page 21, Dread Rattle. Page 21, Dread Rattle. And now we have the correct things on everybody. We have the correct... well, not on everybody. We need one extra trait on our Corrupted Phoenix's boots. And for that one, I believe I have this on my... thing. It's called a Queen Brain. The Queen Brain on my Corrupted Phoenix's boots. So that's gonna be URSTU. Yeah, it's gonna be, I just saw it there, Queen Brain. This is the Mass Resurrection trait. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's done as well. All right. And no, that's not correct. That's not correct. That's not correct because we already have the oh, never mind. We already have this trait via the fusion. So this needs this actually needs to be the trait launcher. The trait launcher trait, which you can only get via artifact, or maybe Netherstone, but it needs to be this thing called the improbable catapult. I'm not finding it. Hang on, let me go to traits and let's. Oh, the trait. No, the trait is called Improbable Catapult. The trait material is called the trait launcher. So the material is the trait launcher. Yeah, there we go. I just saw it. Trait launcher. Yeah, the trait itself is called Improbable Catapult at the start of your creature's turn. Enemies gain a copy of its innate trait. Now, what is the innate trait for the Corrupted Phoenix? The innate trait is... it's not Mass Resurrection, it's Final Breath. After an enemy is resurrected, it has a 75% chance to be killed again. We are giving this to the enemy, which means when we resurrect, they will have a 75% chance to kill our people instantly. Why would we want to do this? Well, in order to do this, we got to go inside one of these here realms and put this into action. Before I do this, let me kill one more. Let me kill one more Rhodian. First of all, let me make sure that this is fine. This seems to be fine. All right. Let me swap to the Blight Mark II just to kill one more Creature Master. Just to kill one more Creature Master. Because I'm going to be doing the Resurrection shenanigans on a lower realm. Because the point of that isn't gonna be, hey, let's try and seriously play the game. The point of it is gonna be, is there a way to quickly farm out resurrections with a... You can almost think of it as a meme build, a meme party. Except it really is just to get that one achievement. Right. So let's just kill this creature master and then run out of this realm. And we might as well just... Might as well just run around, see what else we can find in the realm. Is there anything else really? Riddle dwarves, I guess. Buried treasure, I guess, is the only thing we're really, interested in that we might find. We also gotta defeat some masochists, which is gonna be these guys, I believe. Yes. So one more of those, and we'll get a bit of favor with Muse in the process. Why not? Why not? Because there are certain rune of... Oh, hey! Hey, we're about to get a skin! The mechless skin for the Robo... Hello! Oh, is that what Robodomies are? Are they... like little dudes inside of robot suits? Is that what they are? That's pretty cute, and that's one of the skins for one of the new races that was added. Ah, that's cute. I'm really glad we went into this realm. That's a lovely little... Really does put a spring in your step, finding rare loot. Well, I wasn't even looking for it. Wasn't even looking for it. I wasn't even looking for it. Alright. Okay, we gotta find these other masochists, though, because they are our goal. This is really just prolonging the suspense, because I'm sure you, like me, are eager to see whether this plan is even gonna work. I'm confident it will work, for a reason that I'll go into more detail about once we confirm that it does work, but before we do that, we just have to finish this realm. I guess we don't have we don't have to finish the realm, but we might as well, because there is another achievement for finishing 10,000 realms, and this gives us a tiny bit of progress towards that. So now this is done. I did not want to get into that fight, but whatever. Now let's head home. Now, let's go to the menagerie, swap out. No. The assign should really be at the absolute bottom of this list, so you don't accidentally overwrite one of your groups with the like if you accidentally double click. Yeah, I don't want to accidentally assign my creatures to a party that they're not supposed to be in, right? And you can very easily, with 2 misclicks, have that happen. Swap should be on top, or something that doesn't have a chance of permanently changing your saved groups. Should be at the top of the list. Anyway, let's swap to the resurrections. The resurrection party. Oh, they also need spells. So there's a specific spell that I want. There's a specific spell that I want. That spell is gonna be... It's gonna be called... It's gonna be called... Hang on. The spell is gonna be called Supplicant Sacrifice. But let me actually see in my nether stones. Do I have locked, unlocked, favorite name? Really wish there was a way to search your nether stones to see if they had a trait in them. But let's see if any of the nether stones have a trait called Earth Oil. Or any of the oh, we have Resurrection Code. We have Resurrection Code, but it's only for individual creatures. Okay. Let me just see. Accelerated Harvest, Vengeance, Cycle of Life. Nah. Coming Undone. I'm not sure why this hasn't been... This just seems like a useless nether stone, so I've got to get rid of... 194. Alright, so let's go back into the netherstone. I should have probably done this off camera. In fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pause while I look through my list of netherstones, and I'll let you know if anything useful pops up, right? So just give me a moment. Alright, here's another seemingly useless netherstone. So I'll destroy it, and I guess I'll show the ones that I'm destroying just so that I'm not like leaving out anything that's potentially interesting. Just get rid of that, and now I'm gonna go back to through searching through this list. So I'll see you in a moment. Here's another one that I missed. 240. Let's get rid of that. A traitless netherstone. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna quickly rush through this list on camera, because otherwise I'm gonna get a really sidetracked. So I don't really think we... All effects that activate when a creature resurrects, but we have nothing that... See, Renaissance would be good. Let me lock it. And now we just need Earth Oil is the either Earth Oil or the Queen Brain. The Queen Brain is called Mass Resurrection. But let me just take a look at Pyre. No, that doesn't do anything. Protect the glass cannon, 0 to 1 upwards, lights out. And then there's gonna be some traitless netherstones that I've missed. No. Coming Undone? What's that? No, that's you smoking. What's this do? No, that doesn't do anything. What does this do? That. Okay, and I've lost my place. I've lost my blades. Yeah, you need to have better ways of searching through your nether stones, because this is a little bit unwieldy. Oh god. Yeah, let me just quickly, so I don't get too sidetracked. And if you guys see something as I'm quickly rushing through these trait lists that you think would be useful, the main thing I'm looking for is the Earth Salamander trait called Earth Oil, which allows you to cast things on Resurrection. But that's gonna require having at least one, like, actually no, what, have I even gotten the name of the trait correctly? The name of the trait is, it's called Memorial. Oh god, I've gotten this all wrong. The trait is called Memorial. The trait material is called Earth Oil. I've been looking for the wrong fucking thing. Well, I don't think there's any chance of me finding it like this. In case you, there's no way I'm just gonna randomly find it like this, am I? Yeah, listen, we're not gonna do it. What I'll do is maybe in between this episode and the next episode, I'll see if there's a way to make that happen. Anyway, like 20, more than 30 minutes into the episode, we're finally seeing, does this work? We're gonna be doing on we're gonna be doing this on instability 0. And we're gonna be dropping down quite a bit. Random realms are fine. Oh, but no, hang on. I need the spell, dude. Create a new spell gem of Supplicant Sacrifice. Do I have it? Yes, I do. Caster is killed and your creatures gain 3 random minions. There we go. Alright. I should have like 5 of these. I should have 5 of these. Alright, come on. Supplicant Sacrifice. One more. And I don't need anything on the first creature. These are all death creatures, so they can equip it just by default. And finally, macros. Oh, we gotta, let's create a new macro. Hang on a second. I should, if this creature has more than 0 health, cast Supplicant Sacrifice? Yeah, and then that's fine. And then you're going to have macro 25. Nope. Oh god, macro 25. And your default thing is going to be to defend. Actually, hang on. We'll give you Star Pact. And we'll give you a very specific macro. And the macro is going to be... the macro is going to be, first of all, equip. Is Star Pact not a... hang on. Oh god, is Star Pact not a... it's a life spell. Alright, well... so let's enchant the Star Pact to give it a sorcery transformation. And potency based on health. And more damage. Or we'll give it defense penetration. And creature equip the new Star Pact. And create a new macro. This is going to be number 26. I'm going to add a line. If this creature... how do I do... hang on. If any ally... I assume ally doesn't include itself. So if any ally has... is dead. Is there a thing is not dead? Is not on turn, doesn't have. Resurrected, has trait, knowledge. Any ally. Is there a way to... hang. If this creature has less than 5 dead allies, defend? Then you just skip your turn. And then if this creature is alive, cast Star Pact. And then assign macro number 26. Your strategy is going to be the macro. Your strategy is going to be macro. Macro. A lot of setup has gone into this. Now this better fucking work, dude. This better fucking work. Alright, all of that. Is this gonna work? Well, first of all, we get a useless Nether Realm. Excuse me? There we go. This is what I was waiting for. The Resurrection Chain. Eventually, the resurrections will end, and then you cast Star Pact. So let's take a look at the battle history. So Suicide Pact kills them, Mass Resurrection or Undeath raises them, and then when they raise, they have a chance to raise their friends as well via Mass Resurrection. But then when they resurrect, Final Breath from the enemy kills them again, and Suicide Pact kills anybody else who was resurrected, and then, you know, and then they, the whole thing continues. Let's see how many resurrections we got out of that. Now that we know this works. Right, let's go to our battle achievements. We are at 35,420. I wasn't counting how many we had before. It should give us 75 resurrections per battle. Oh my god, stop it. Stop it. And then do the macro. And let's count how many resurrections we got out of that. We are at now. I'm not sure how many we got. Okay, let's... Because it seems like we got more than I was expecting to get. Okay, let's remember this number, and let's only remember the 537 part. Only remember 537. Alright. Only remember the 537. Another thing I should do is... Okay, first of all, let's see how many we should get. How many we are getting, in fact, per battle. So we started off at 537, and we are at 664. So that is 120. That is 127 resurrections per battle that we're getting. I thought you were limited to 15 per creature, which would cap you out at a... Maybe I should stop using Supplicant Sacrifice, because it slows things down. But my logic was... let's farm the minion thing as well. But we may have to swap out for something else. We may have to swap out for something else. But this is working, man. It's working. Gosh darn it. It's working. Is there a way to... So the reason there was that thing at the start of this battle with the enemies being... Well, not even the enemies, but like us being stun locked for a while, and it was just like rattling, you know, just that rat-a-tat noise, was because of a bunch of 0 damage hits. That was because of... Oh, it's because of... It's not even because of us, it's because of the enemy, it's because of the dragon creatures. Okay. Creep Mummy has to be dead. So that wasn't even like a mistake on our part necessarily. Now just the enemies being annoying and having dragons and yeah, they just have dragons in their party, and when they have dragons in their party, they are gonna be doing this nonsense. Well, it won't always happen, but it's gonna... When they have a certain type of dragon creature in their party, it's gonna cause issues. But we know there aren't gonna be any dragons in this fight, because it's just gonna be carbuncles. Alright. Okay. It's just gonna be carbuncles. Oh, you're silenced. I need to have a thing. Oh, do I need to fight a treasure golem? I don't. I need to have a thing that says if silenced, attack or something like that. Excuse me? So, oh, they ran out of spell charges. No. That's a problem. That's a huge problem. That's a massive, massive problem. It's a massive, 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 massive problem. But the way to fix it is by just making these, by giving them like non-permanent copies of the spell gems, by making them ethereal. I forget what the thing we need to do is, but we need to go back to the Enchantress, go back to the castle, and we need to make a couple changes. First of all, do we have some spare entangling roots? We do. I don't want to use that one. Yeah, we need to make them generous. I'll create a new entangling roots actually, because I feel like those ones were being used by other people, by other groups that I may want to go back to. So, and then enchant, so upgrade. Just upgrade all these sacrifices. Sounds good. And then enchant these supplicant sacrifices. Make them generous. I don't know if casting twice is even gonna matter. I really don't think that matters. Chance to attack, chance to defend, after attacking, after defending, but there's no chance for it to happen after resurrecting. You need the salamander trait for that to happen, and we simply don't have a room to put that trait in. Simply, we do not have room to put that trait in. So that is a little bit unfortunate. Let me also upgrade the entangling roots that we just got. This one, we're gonna do it like, we're just gonna make it, give it a sorcery transformation. And more charges. Generous? I could, and I probably should give more entangling roots to the other guys. 4 more you know, ethereal charges or like non-permanent charges for that spell. Alright. We're working out the kinks. We're trying to figure out how to make this an effective resurrection grinding party. Alright, so how are we gonna do this? Enchant, disenchant. We gotta first upgrade. And these are gonna be generous and with the death transform. Generous and with the death transform. One, two. I think I made one too few, but at this point I don't matter. At this point it doesn't matter. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I don't care. So generous, death transform, generous. Oh god, come on. What? Death transform. And finally, generous, death transform, and then finally our creatures can equip them. Oh god, where is it? Where is it? There we go. There we go. And now for the macro on creature 1, we need to edit it. Remove the line if creature has less than 5 dead allies. Cast Entangling Roots. There we go. Now that makes this a little bit better. A little bit better. Alright, now let's not actually continue on down the realms, because this is not a party that's capable of winning. This party is for the single purpose of farming resurrections. And let's take a look at how we are on the resurrection farming. We started at about 35,500. We've made it past 36,000. Something's wrong, dude. It's the macro. I need to switch the lines. There we go. There we go. Now he casts Entangling Roots. which means after the whole resurrection parade, the enemies will lose their turns, and it'll make the whole thing go a little bit quicker. There we go. Oh, it looks like they have corrupted phoenixes in their party anyway, which is kind of fun. Alright. Sweet. And also tight. Alright. Alright, boys. We got it. We got it done. We're in business. We're in business. And then you end with a Star Pact. A little bit unfortunate that I couldn't also combine this with a minion summoning. But listen, there's gonna be much quicker ways to do minion summoning. You can just... I can just have my mimics cast something like Summon Horde at the start of every battle. And just have that be part of my build for a while. And, you know, just run like that. Also, let me see how long this video has been going. Under an hour. So, how long do you want to run this? Well, however long we have the patience for. Really. And again, to give a sense of how quickly this is happening, after we're done with this realm, let's dumpling. After we're done with this realm, let's take a look at how many resurrections we got out of it. Let's conservatively assume we're getting like 100 per battle. That's still a good amount, right? Still a pretty good amount. And we're also completing realms in the process. We are also completing Rune of Prophecy objectives in the process. So we're making progress on a bunch of things. The only thing we're not doing is, because we're not going deeper into the realms, we're not fighting false gods. I guess... one thing I could do is... see what happens if I go into my lowest, deepest, darkest realm depth on Ascension 0. But, like, this party is just not optimized, right? This party is just simply not optimized. And so... Star Pack ran out of charges. Star Pack ran out of charges. Okay, so we need to make Star Pack a generous as well. So we need to make Star Pact generous as well. We need to make Star Pact generous as well. What? That didn't work. Did it glitch out? Oh, well, we have to do this. Did it glitch out, or what happened? I guess if you get a really bad roll, then maybe all of your creatures can die without triggering any of the resurrections. I suppose that's a possibility. Yeah, we need to make Star Pact. What's the word? Generous as well. Ooh, nice. Getting a bunch of chests opened. You love to see it. You'll love to see it. Alright. I think we're just gonna... I guess I'll hit this last thing and then we will... we'll go back home and we'll see about making Star Pact generous. Alright, yeah. Do this. Another couple of chests opened. I guess since there are no enemies left, there's nothing stopping us from just taking a look around the realm. Seeing what else we find. Getting a few more of these resurrection battles done. Alright. Yeah, we got to fix this Star Pact situation. Oh, I was hoping. Oh, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Oh no. Yep. Anything that silences you obviously is going to be a huge problem. Yes. There's an anointment where you can make your creatures immune to silence. But number one, I'm not sure if we have that. Fuck off. Fuck off, man. And number two, I don't want to be going around changing my anointments for a meme party, right? For a meme build. That's not how I want to go through life, man. Alright, we gotta fix our shit. Gotta fix our shit. 2 projects to hand in. Let's hand them in. Pilgrimage. Do another pilgrimage with whoever is at 84 or below. Yeah, 84 or below. That's gonna be you. Start. We don't have enough nether synthesis, so let's just do another forge, I guess. And also, let me craft a new Star Pact, give it a death transformation. And make it generous. And 1 should be all that we need. Manage spell gems. One should be all that we need. So once again. Staying on low realm depths. Alright. Let me take a look at my achievements. My battle achievements. We started out at 35,500. We're already at 38,000. Which honestly is pretty good. Right? It's pretty good. Within a pretty short session of play, we've gotten 2,500. In like half an hour of play, we've gotten 2,500. And no signs of stopping either, because we're gonna go until what? God. Damn it. What is this? Dissonance sounds like chaos, but it could easily end up being like sorcery. Or even nature. Siralim ultimate. Dissonance spell. What is this? This is chaos. Makes sense, but like I said, you can never trust this game. Alright. Let's go up. Go down. Go to the right. Go up. And let's get this done. And that was weird, but we got through it. And we got it done. And then we killed them like that. There we go. There we go. There we go. And then the Corrupted Phoenix kills them like that. We're specifically doing low realms because I don't want to deal with creatures actually being strong. Okay. There we go. And then you just win. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. It's not the most elegant way to run your party, but for the very specific purpose of getting resurrections farmed very, 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 very quickly, it does work, right? You can't deny its effectiveness. You cannot deny its effectiveness. Now, there is one optimization that I could make. It's not really an optimization, it would just be an alternate way of doing it. And that is, instead of using the trait launcher and Corrupted Phoenix, we instead just have an Earth Salamander with like one other trait, I guess, with the same Soul Flare Overlord trait, like the Queen Brain thing, and forgetting the whole trait launcher situation. And instead of using the trait launcher, we just summon Corrupted Phoenixes to fight in the realms. Now, the problem with that is that there are gonna be enemies, obviously, that aren't Corrupted Phoenixes, that are basically just gonna be wasting our time. I would have to edit my macro as well. Be like, if no enemy has the trait Final Breath, then, you know, use Star Pact. Otherwise, you know, whatever. Otherwise, whatever, right? So let's keep it on. Okay. The reason I wouldn't want to do it that way is because a lot of time would end up being wasted fighting enemies that are just not really doing anything for you. Do I want to hand in this assassination? The answer is no. I just want to hold on to it. We just want to hold on to it. But like, for example, I can just summon Corrupted Phoenixes from the candle, and they are going to be on which page? EQRS. They are on page 54. If I do it like this, and then they already have this trait by default. They don't need to be given the trait, right? The trait that is killing them is a trait that they would just have. The trait that is killing our people, and which is needed for, you know, the resurrection engine to work the way it's working. They would just have this trait by default. But we would only be able to summon them after fighting through a bunch of useless enemies, and then just you know, not really getting the full value out of our realms. So that's the reason it has to be done that way. All of our creatures have 3 traits. Yeah, nobody has room for an extra trait. So this has to be the base trait. Mass Resurrection is part of our thing as well. Actually, hang on a second. Hang on, I'm doing this wrong. This trait doesn't need to be on every creature. As long as only one creature has it, I think we're fine. The Suicide Pact trait. So we can do it the way I'm envisioning it. We can do it the way I'm envisioning it. Alright, okay. So this is gonna be a late but very important optimization. Where's the exit? Rather, where's the exit? That's very far away for it to be. I only just realized you could do this, because certain traits only affect creatures, like the Dread White traits only affect that individual creature, so those have to be on. Actually, no, even that doesn't work. Even that doesn't work. Oh no, never mind. No. It does work. It does work. I'm being stupid. I'm being really dumb. It is gonna work, and I'll explain why. All right. We just need to remove one of these creatures entirely and replace them with a Soul Flare Overlord fused with the white and... Hang on. So we need to do a little bit of farming then. Because we're gonna need one more Dread White. We're gonna need one more Dread White, and then a little bit of something. Alright. Here's how we're gonna do it. Just to make sure we have these, I'm gonna need a Dread White and a Reclusive White. Oh god, now we need to, oh god. Now we need to find them. But listen, at least I realized. Because race applies to the whole race. They don't need to be Soul Flare Dreamcasters specifically. They just need to be Soul Flares. One of them can be a Soul Flare Overlord, and it'll still work because it works on the race level, not on the creature level. Alright, I'm glad I realized that. And you're probably wondering, why does this matter? Well, it matters because this way we can get a little bit of extra farming on the minion summoning, right? So that's the that is the thinking there. All right, come on, let's get this done. I guess we already had a Dread White ready to summon, so let's just make sure I have a Reclusive White. Reclusive White. And let's make sure we have an Earth Salamander. Salamander is... Man, come on, dude. Fuck off. Oh my god, dude. Come on. And yep, these battles take a while, but it's worth it when you consider that we're getting like 100 resurrections out of each of them. So let's make a bit of room in this realm. Make a bit of room. And then just keep on going. Alright. There's a Dread White. Get that. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. I wish... hang on a second. I can just go to my bestiary and see if the salamander is ready to summon. I don't need to, like, wing it. Let's look at the whites. So Dread White and Reclusive White is not ready to summon. We are gonna have to kill this guy. But let's take a look at the salamander. So we are gonna have to kill a Reclusive White. We're not gonna have to kill an Earth Salamander. We already have an Earth Salamander. So that's gonna be that's gonna make things a little bit easier for us. So we're gonna have to create a new Corrupted Phoenix and a new... Alright. Alright. What I'm gonna do is I'll leave a link to the Siralim planner version for the final party. Not the original one that I started out with, but the final version that we got to after all this trial and error. And now we can just head home. 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 But before we head home, that, okay. Okay, there's a couple of things we're gonna have to do. Summon a Reclusive White. Summon a Soul Flare Overlord. Where is it? I don't have a Soul Flare Overlord. Ugh, I'm an idiot. I'm a moron. Well, this is not gonna work without all of them in one go. So let's go to a new realm. We've got to find the candle again. And we gotta get to the Soul Flare Overlord. Actually, hang on a second. I'm gonna... yeah. Protected enemies are... I mean, we've known for a while that they should just be banned. And just, like, permanently removed from this game. And that is gonna be, obviously, something that we continue to believe in, because, you know, because they suck. Oh, no, I didn't wanna go into the resurrection thing. Why didn't he die, man? Can somebody explain that to me? And now he dies? And now he dies? Okay. Let's just get through this realm quickly. Get through this realm quickly, because we need to... We need to just... We need to just, get... Yeah, there we go. There's the candle. Okay, there we go. What do we need? We need a soul flare. Overlord. And just for good measure, Dreamcaster as well. Oop. We ran out of non-ethereal star pack charges, that's okay. Dreamcaster is ready. Oh my god, come on, man. Get out of my way, dude. Man, where the fuck are these overlords? I did summon them, didn't I? I must have. There's one of them. Fuck off. Oh, fuck you, dude. Making me wait. Piece of garbage trash. Piece of garbage. Okay, come on. Let's stay focused. Okay. Oh, that's the realm finished. You're not sure. We'll get some resurrection farming done. So now what we're gonna have to do is, it's gonna be replacing one of our guys with an overlord fused with a reclusive white with the dread rattle, or fused with a dread white and with the whatever the reclusive white's trait material is, and then replacing the corrupted phoenix with a new corrupted phoenix, this time fused with an earth salamander and with the same trait launcher as the thing. We're completing Inquisitor quest as well. Right. So let's summon another corrupted phoenix. Another Dreamcaster. I guess another Overlord. We've already summoned the Reclusive White and the Dread White. Right? I assume we have. I assume we have. So let's get this fixed. Alright, so just going to the fusion lab. Use a corrupted phoenix. No, we need to summon an earth salamander. Exotic. There we go. Fuse the corrupted phoenix with the earth salamander. And this time, I guess I'll take this fusion palette. Items, artifacts. Oh no, creatures, items, unequip your artifact, unequip your artifact. This time, use a Soul Flare Overlord with a Reclusive White and see what we get. We'll keep the same grayish color palette that we liked. Finally, spell gems, unequip. We may have to give this a different transformation because it's going to be a different type of creature, and you unequip Supplicant Sacrifice. Okay. So now we need to deposit. Oh, went to the wrong place. Creature 1 and Creature 6. Withdraw the new Corrupted Phoenix. A Memorial. Oh, this is not gonna work. Because when they're resurrected, they might cast Star Pact. Yeah, when they're resurrected, they might cast Star Pact. So here's why this isn't gonna work. Because cast one of their spells at random is fine if the only spells they have are things like Entangling Roots and Supplicant Sacrifices, but the moment any of them has a damaging spell, especially a area of effect damaging spell, they could prematurely end these battles. So I don't think there's a good way. Yeah, we would have to, even if we had Memorial on a Netherstone, let me take a look at my anointments. I think I may just have to make a slight change, because we don't need all of these anointments. Like, we don't really need Burn Their Corpses and Firestarter on this party. So if I go into the Evoker anointments, Immune to Silenced would be useful. Uh, isn't there a... Wasn't there an anointment that make it so that your creature spells don't consume... Oh, that's for your booze spells. I don't think there's a general... Actually, is there? Let's take a look. Spellweaver, infusions, spells additional times. It must be an evoker one. Extra. Oh, no, it only applies to extra casts. Yeah, this is not gonna work. This is not gonna work. Listen, it was an interesting idea, but it's not gonna work. Unless there's a way to be able to infinitely, keep casting Star Pact without relying on, without relying on, the generous, right? The ethereal spells. I just don't think there's a way. Unfortunately, it was an interesting idea, but it's not really gonna work. I'll have to, in between this episode and the next episode, I'll see, maybe if we get freakishly lucky, I will have as netherstones either the earth salamander trait or the carbuncle trait. So there's a specific carbuncle trait that would also solve the problem for us. Where are the carbuncles? So I think it's immune to debuffs. No. If your creatures have casted a total of 7 more spells in the current battle, spells are more potent and no longer consume charges, but that's only if you've cast 7 or more. Which would happen pretty quickly, right? If we're casting Supplicant Sacrifice. There might be a way to make it work, but that really only depends on whether we have these specific nether stones, which I don't know if we even have them. What did the last person have? Supplicant Sacrifice only, I think. And let's give you your yeah, so it's not gonna work. Yeah, a bit of a roller coaster of emotions, but that's not gonna work. Equip your artifact. Your boots. Everybody has the correct artifact. Everybody has the correct boots. How long have we been going? Long enough that we can end the episode. So let's take a look at the achievement progress that we made. Not a lot of progress on going deeper into the realms. In fact, I think we only went one realm deeper just to get a little just get one of these things done. And you know what? Let's do one more realm. Let's do one more realm. Maybe we'll find the last riddle dwarf that we need. Ooh, hey, got a one of these things, one of these exotic portals. Don't mind closing on an exotic portal, and it'll give us a chance to, you know, do a bit of this action as well. Alright. So maybe we're just going to forget about trying to grind minions along with all of this. We're getting like 3 minions per battle. Oh, I didn't give him his own star pack. I didn't give him his star pack back. Well, that's something I'm gonna have to fix. Prophecy line's getting completed. Indubitably. Right. Yeah, we need to give him his proper star pack. Alright. Alright. I guess another way to solve it would be having only 4 soul flares in the party. And then one person can have the salamander, like one person can give the trait launcher to the other guys, and then the other person can have some other traits. Yeah, this is certainly something where it's probably very possible to make some really good optimizations. But why are enemies so fucking tanky, dude? Cause I didn't go deep enough. I only brought the realm depth down by 1,000. I should have brought it. That was my fault. That was my fault. I should have brought the realm depth down by 2,000 instead of just 1,000. This was on me. This is totally on me. This was on me. This is totally on me. Yeah, so if I had a second person who wasn't a soul flare, then that second person could have the star pact, meaning the soul flares would only be casting Supplicant's Sacrifice upon being resurrected. Then that would make it worse. That would make it worse for farming resurrections, with the benefit of we're also farming minions, which I don't think is a worthwhile trade, because farming minions is not a difficult thing to do, right? And we're dead because we were in a place that was too strong for us. Eventually, I guess somebody one-hit killed us. Anyway, that's done. Let's do one more realm, and let's do it properly. Bring it down to 1,300. Easy, easy. All right, now let's do this properly. So what? Hang on. Let me think about what it would take. Because 5 of them casting Supplicant Sacrifice... What about that spell where your spells regenerate charges? Is that a way? I'm probably overthinking this. Yeah, this is trying to double up and also summon, like get summoning progress on this is just going to make this a worse build. So let's keep it as a pure resurrection build, and let's save the summoning for after this is done. Save the summoning for after this is done. Alright. Alright. Let's find these bookshelves and then wrap up this episode, because I think we've done a pretty good job of demonstrating this. Very unexpectedly, the way I got it done the first time around was the best way to do it, or at least the most reliable way of doing it. And all these like extra bells and whistles that I'm talking about, you know, doing minion farming as well, that's just not needed, dude. Just do one thing properly and then get that one thing done. And then when that one thing is fully done, then move on to the next thing. I think that's the best way to play this game. Don't try and overload too many different things into one build. If it gets to the point where putting the extra thing is reducing your effectiveness at the original main thing, then you might as well just not do that and leave it. And just leave it. Alright. Keep on keeping on. Dr. Phoenix gets his turn. There's our first bookshelf. Alright. Alright, boys. Alright, boys. Alright, boys. Come on. It is, I will say, oddly satisfying to see the resurrections happen. Just like cascading cycles of death and rebirth over and over again until the game tells you that you can't do it anymore. There is something just deeply satisfying about watching that, which is why it doesn't feel annoying that it kind of just locks up your battle screen on this one screen for like 15 seconds, or however long it takes. It takes a good amount of time. It takes a good amount of time. But there's just something really enjoyable about watching it. And then, well, usually you win with 1 star pact if you're on low realm depths, but sometimes it takes a few. Yeah, it's, honestly, it's a pretty good time, all things considered. I'm glad we're doing this. In its own way, it's a lot of fun. In its own way, it's a lot of fun. And it's a kind of fun that you don't often get to have in this game, right? Because you're usually not inflicting this like you're usually not trying to kill your own party members. Outside of certain specific conditions, you're not trying to kill your own party members, right? So that's the reason why this is a bit of a rare pleasure in this game. Alright, I think we're about done with this episode, though. Guess let's get into a couple extra fights, and then we'll see how many resurrections we've got. Remembering that we fuck off, dude. Oh, you serious, man. Remembering that we started at 35,500. And we'll end at well, we haven't looked at the number yet. There are no creatures left on this map, so I guess it's just time to leave and then take a look at it. And then take a look. So we're surprisingly still not done with the nature creature kills. Well, we'll get that done next episode, and hopefully find one more riddle dwarf and then just hand in this Rune of Prophecies. Didn't find a single buried treasure, that's okay. Anyway, let's take a look. Moment of truth, drum roll please. We got how many resurrections after all of this? We got, after all of that was said and done, about 9,000 resurrections from about an hour's worth of play. So if we continue at this rate, it's going to take us about 6 more episodes to get these resurrection achievements, which I am going to do just to get this achievement done. We summoned a few minions along the way, but not that many. We'll do more like dedicated minion farming later on when we're done with the resurrections. But for now, I think we're just gonna call it good. The small amount of minion farming that we're getting, by the way, is from the Supplicant Sacrifice spell, which is the caster kills itself and then summons some minions. Oh, also, you need the Death Star Pact as well. Wait, does... Oh, one of our guys has the Death Star Pact. One of our guys has the Death Star Pact. Okay. So let's take a look at some of the progress we made on some other achievements. How are we doing for creature parts? We're up to 6.65. How are we doing on... Well, we didn't hand in any Runes of Prophecy in this episode. We didn't have any Runes of Prophecy in this episode, so we're still on whatever we were last time. We did make a bit of progress doing Inquisitor quests. Continue making that progress next time. Got a little bit of Stardust. We'll continue working on that. And then let's take a look at some of our Realm achievements to close things out. We, finished a few realms, that's nice. But the main thing we're looking at is destructible objects. We're at 96,289, that's good. We're at slightly less than half of that for resource nodes. And in terms of treasure chests, 49,762, so less than 240 treasure chests left to open, which is great. Made some good progress on those, but mostly this was all just about farming resurrections, right? That was all we needed, that was all we wanted. As promised in between episodes, I will see if maybe I get really lucky, and if I have a nether stone with the either the carbuncle trait or the earth salamander trait, then we can you know, start farming resurrections without worrying about running out of star packs. But realistically, we're probably gonna have quite a few resurrections to do, and we're not gonna get that many minions summoned along the way. So let's just, maybe we'll get lucky, but realistically, let's just keep this as a pure resurrection farming build, and you know, not worry too much about the other part, because we'll get them in other ways. Anyway, that's gonna be all for this one. I'm gonna say thank you so much for watching. Ooh. Sorry, just moving some stuff around. Thanks for watching. I'll put the link to this version of the build without any of my other kooky, you know, minion farming ideas, just this pure version of the build in the video description, and you know, in case you want to use it for farming your own resurrections. And yeah, that's gonna be all for this one, and when we come back next time, we're gonna be doing more of the same, and until then, take care.